Let's talk about the 2020 presidential debate that maybe you just saw. If you didn't, consider yourself lucky because it kind of sucked. It was a dumpster fire. And yes, that's putting it lightly. And this is coming from someone who is actually looking forward to it quite a bit. And yes, I know that makes me a nerd, but I actually thought it was going to be interesting and I thought I was going to learn something, but I didn't. It kind of just sucked. And one of the main reasons that it did suck was President Trump. Now, I'll probably get a lot of hate for this because I'm a conservative channel and a lot of my viewers are conservative. But Trump interrupted Biden all the time, and it was frustrating. I wanted to hear what Biden was going to say. Not because I would agree with it, but because I would disagree with it and it would prove that he doesn't know what he's talking about. But Trump didn't even give him the option to do that. He continually interrupted him, and that made Trump look significantly worse than if he had just sat there and been quiet. And yes, I understand some of them were justified. You can't always just sit there and not say anything. Sometimes you have to punch back. The problem is, it should at least be a little bit of give and take. And Biden did interrupt somewhat, but not nearly as much as Trump. I don't see how you could watch that debate and objectively not say that Trump was doing a really bad job. The point of the debate is to debate. It's not to continually interrupt your opponent. Another issue I have with the debate, and this is again probably going to rub a lot of conservatives the wrong way, is the emphasis that we put on Joe Biden being completely out of it. Now, I recognize that he does not have all the mental acuity that he used to have, but I don't think he's as far gone as many Republicans have been portraying him. And this debate pretty much shows that. Republicans have been saying for months now that Joe Biden doesn't know where he is, that he has dementia, that he's lost pretty much everything. But this debate showed that's not the case. Again, I'm not saying that Joe Biden is completely there, and he certainly has lost some of it. But Republicans put the bar so low that as long as Joe Biden didn't literally fall off the stage, then he was going to be a win for him. And that's essentially what we saw here. Joe Biden was a lot more there than he has been in the recent past, and because of that, virtually everyone is going to say that Joe Biden was the winner, again, because he didn't literally fall off the stage. So rather than feel the need to exaggerate the issues that Joe Biden has, they should have just been clear about it and honest, and not pretend that he never knows what's going on any time of the day, because that obviously was not the case. All that being said, there are a few things from this debate I want to highlight. The first one, and this was very telling, was when Joe Biden once again refused to say that he would not pack the Supreme Court or get rid of the filibuster. So his excuse is that he doesn't want to change the narrative, so it's about that. But the fact of the matter is, twice now, if not more, he has refused to say he wouldn't do those things, which means that he is still open to it. So if Democrats win the House and if they win the Senate, there is the very real possibility the Supreme Court will no longer be 9, but it'll be 13 justices. And the filibuster may be gone completely. Those are things that I am not a big fan of, especially packing the court. If Democrats raise it to 13 now, what's stopping Republicans from raising it to, let's say, 16 the next time that they have the White House? It's a never-ending cycle. Packing the court is a horrible idea. Just because you don't like who's on the court does not mean you should just flood it with more justices. At one point, Biden tried to bring up the claim that Trump called those in the military losers. And he was talking about his son who was in the military and all of the wonderful things he did. He was trying to reference Beau Biden, who was the good son, but he really walked into the fact that Hunter Biden, his other son, was discharged from the military for drug use. And Trump jumped on that because he literally gave him that ammo. If you're talking about your son who's in the military, you should first specify who it is and then talk about it. But he literally just said, my son was in the military, blah, blah, blah. And then Trump said, oh, your son who was kicked out of the military for drug use? So, that was actually a pretty good point on Trump. But as I said at the beginning, most of it kind of felt like a waste of time. I don't see how anyone could watch that and come away feeling like they've learned anything or anyone has won. I doubt it changed anyone's opinion. I know who I'm going to vote for, and that didn't change anything. Biden was Biden, Trump was Trump, and that's pretty much what happened. Maybe you disagree with me, and maybe you think that President Trump was right to continually push against Biden. And again, I'll acknowledge that sometimes it is necessary, but Trump did it in excess. He should not have done it that much because he just looks like the bad guy. Anyone watching that will look at that and say, oh, here's Trump just beating up this old man time and time again. If you made it this far, I really appreciate that. And apparently you care about some random internet dude's opinion on the debate, which good for you. If you haven't yet, make sure you leave a comment and a like and watch some of my other videos while you're at it. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.